Good morning, all. I am taking this opportunity on this nice overcast day, ta-da, little drizzly too, to plant some things way up here. If you look up there, got kind of a bare spot. So we have the Australian willow, and this I believe is like a Chinese lantern tree or something like that. It gets kind of these pinky red lantern-like blooms on it. And then this is a tepu tree, which gets huge. But we do have some jacarandas up here. I think there's 1, 2, 3 up there, but there's always this blank spot. And this is a south-facing hill, and it gets super, super hot. And I just want to start, shading the soil and everything. And there's active drippers up here, 3 of them. It's just watering soil, So I do want to fill that up. So I'll show you what I'm gonna put there. Here they are. We're gonna do a smaller version of a Vitex. It's actually a Chaste tree. This is a Daytona Heat Petty Blue variety. The stats on this one, you can see it. It gets 6 to 10 feet wide by 6 to 10 feet tall. Full sun lover. It is pretty drought tolerant once it's established, but they're supposed to have these really beautiful blooms. If you can see some of them here, but they get really big and they're fragrant. You're not really gonna smell them up there, but still, I just want something really drought tolerant and to get really big to fill up that space up there. So let's take this opportunity of this lovely overcast drizzly day and get them in. So this hill really is out of control. I say it's a beast, and it's totally true. I do fall every single time. It's like super, super steep. But yeah, that's the plan, is we do want to get more plants in there so that it'll hold the hillside back, especially when it's raining. We did have a mudslide. If you look at the left, those boards that I installed, we had a pretty big mudslide and it covered most of our driveway last year. So we're really trying to prevent any kind of erosion. That rain felt really nice though. Such a break from all this hot weather. Just making sure that I like where the drippers and the current space is. Yeah, our soil is really hard when it's not wet. Yeah, these Vitex get pretty big. This is actually a smaller version of the actual Vitex. Vitex usually get like 20 feet tall. So this is a nice miniature one. I'd actually prefer a big one, but this will do. Yep, I fall every single time coming down this slope. The rain definitely didn't help. So these boards that I put in, they're actually very beneficial. They help with all of the mulch and the soil falling down, and it also helps with water. When the drippers go off, normally the water would start running down. And so by putting these boards in, it helps soak into the soil. These cages are the only way that I can keep gophers and ground squirrels from attacking all the roots of our newly planted trees and shrubs. So it's a must. So some of the specimens of the garden store will have 2 planted in 1 can. This is one of them. So if you can find one that's pretty far planted apart from one another, you can cut it with like what I did, and you can split it and get 2 out of 1. Just a little financial help. So you can kind of see how steep this hill is. It's like literally a 45-degree angle. It's hard to plant up there, but it kind of needs to be done. And once it's done, it's in the past. but I do really want to get that slope under control. Because right now when it rains, that soil really just turns into mush. And if the rain keeps coming, it'll start to turn into a slurry. And that's when you get your landslides. So you'll see here when I turn the camera how steep the slope is. I don't know if you caught that, but that's our house down there. Pretty high up right now. But yeah, I just backfill with all this native soil back into the cage, and then I fill up around the board, water it in, and then put mulch on top. Pop that dripper over there. I later installed 2 more 1 gallon an hour drippers, and our system goes on for 30 minutes every cycle, and currently we have it going off 3 times a week, especially during the summer, just to make sure that everything has water. Especially this hill. This hill is a south-facing slope, so it gets the most brutal sun on our property. So I definitely want to make sure these plants have enough water to get established, and then we'll start to back off. So there's the additional drippers. And watering in. Started to run a little bit, as you can see on that right. So I had to make the well a little deeper, let it soak in. This hill has a lot of clay in it, so it does tend to take longer to soak in. I'm not sure how that's going to affect some of the plants. I've actually never dealt with such high clay content, so it's a learning curve for me. There goes the mulch. I have to bring it up in buckets. I've learned bringing that whole bag up is just a killer on my back. So here we go, walking down the hill again. Kind of see how steep it is. Made it. All right, so I got them all planted up there. You can't really see them, so I'm not gonna really try and point them out, but I just kind of want to go over these one more time. So this is a chaste tree. It's also called a Vitex. I believe the scientific name, yeah, Vitex agnus castus. This is a certain kind of cultivar. It's a smaller one. They usually get really big. You can train them up to be like small trees, or you can let them just be like a large bush like they want to be. I wouldn't mind getting some big ones, but these are the ones that I found at Home Depot. They are nice though. This one's going to get 6 to 10 feet by 6 to 10 feet. So I do want some larger things up there to fill in that gap, provide some shade. These are deciduous though. So we will get some nice leaf mulch up there, and hopefully it'll start to improve the soil up there, and maybe we can plant some other things underneath these once they get bigger. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about them. They do attract a ton of pollinators. The tag says butterflies, hummingbirds, bees. They are deer resistant. We do have some deer. I haven't seen too many of them this year, but I'll definitely show you guys. They kind of walk around on the bottom part of our property, and then I don't know if you can see up here, but so they do take this little ridge on the very top up there by the water tank, and then they walk back there. So back there is the Malibu Preserve, so they can just hang out there without human interference. I'll definitely give you guys an update once these start getting bigger. It's probably a good time right now. It's starting to cool off. We're getting all this random rain that we never get in August. They do say that planting trees in fall is the best, so we are right around the corner. All right, guys, take care. See you later.